Hey, how's it going? It's me, it's R.D.V, and to the right of me is my guest tonight. Yes, he's not top billing Zach anymore. He's demoted to guest.
That was a real quick turnaround.
I cannot, just like Marvel, I cannot let the fans appreciate our work.
Don't give the people what they want, Venkman. Clearly, for some reason, it's the space. I don't know
we
why.
can't give the people what they want. They don't know what they want.
Okay.
That's literally what Marvel is telling you right now. And that we're not going to talk about that book because it's not the best book of the week. That might be a new segment when we start doing, and that might be called the worst of the week.
I don't know. I feel like I have a contender to go with it for that, but I'll wait my turn.
Oh, there is no book that can compete with what they did to Spider-Man, and yeah, we'll be talking about that maybe later this week. But
yeah,
maybe we'll do that Monday nights with Skip. And
Monday
also Monday night with Skip. Skip and Tosh.
Skipping on Monday.
Yes, the Monday night Skip.
I like that. Oh, that's good. I like that.
What books? And we'll talk about which books you can skip. See? Wes, don't steal that. Only steal Engeltines.
Got it, Wes. Go poach your ideas from the other guy.
Let's start tonight. Bring me on at the end. I have a few words. You know, Crowley said that. He had 2 words, and he went on for like a good paragraph.
Yeah, you did.
All right. So, for those who don't know what we're doing here, we're talking about the best books of the week. What we do is that we will take the books that we read. Zach can do whatever he wants, you know, because you're a guest.
Right. I've never been on this channel before.
I will show out the books, every books I got that I've read and stuff. And what I do is I put them in from least favorite to favorite. And I never really favorite, but from what I didn't like to what I liked, you know, because even though this is the best of the week, these books aren't horrible. It's just that we all have different opinions when it comes to different stories. So that being said, I'm going to start off with a book that, LK, if you're watching, you don't have to buy this book anymore because this book is just getting worse. Dracula number 3. And what I'm going to do is I'll just do that. I'll just make myself full solo.
That's not even the best cover. Jeez, man.
Yep. Well, actually, the best cover. Have you seen the other covers?
Yeah, my LCS had like 3 of them.
This book is the opposite of Vampiro in every way, even though she's Vampiro's sister. And Priest is basically writing her like, well, she's basically trapped in the body of a 13 or 15-year-old runaway or 16-year-old minor.
That makes it creepy.
It does make it creepy. Thank you, Priest. Because everybody knows that Vampiro is basically supposed to be like older than dirt, kind of like, but still look good, unlike Eric Brain.
Oh.
He's going to have a few more words tonight. But
he is. He's going to have 3.
This book is just it's mediocre compared to the Vampirella stories. Maybe I'm just spoiled by Tom Sinofsky's Vampirella works. And then this 90s Vampirella is much better than what we've got out today. And so Dracula spawned off in, what was it? I think it was Priest was writing the 6, whatever it's called. So they had the team up with all that. They had the Black Vampirella. They had Draculina.
All I know is that Priest was writing a Vampirella book. That's all that's literally all I know.
Something about he wants me to eat at hot death. I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, those are the 3 words I knew he was going to say.
Oh, yeah. Bueller, yes. So that being said, this is this book, the issue was not that much when they were interesting. I'm just getting sick of it where it starts. Basically, what Priest is doing in each issue. There's this detective that's basically escorting the child, Katie, the minor, back to to whatever state she's supposed to go to, and along the way, there's this you're seeing flashbacks of the story of Katie whenever Draculina takes over, and you see there's this little rat. He's basically cursed, a demon cursed in the form of a rat. He talks and it's like basically it's like what the heck is this supposed to be? It's like almost getting Aladdin vibes with the talking animals, Apparently, Draculina is able to only transform into herself, but if Katie lights this candle, and it causes Draculina to come out in all personality.
Is that a euphemism or is it actually a candle?
A candle.
Okay.
And what was kind of interesting too, and I'm not sure if he pulled this from the Straczynski run, but when Draculina is in possession of the body, Katie is trapped in this void. Like a Dark World, they call it. And so vice versa, they keep trading places. So I was like, wow, this sounds like, Straczynski's store, Donald Blake. They just trade places. So, like I said, it wasn't that great. Maybe you like it. The opening pages, Kate's is talking about how bad California is, or he's talking about how bad San Francisco is. So you may like that. You live in San Francisco and reminding you how horrible a place you live in. So that being said, yeah, that's at the bottom of the pile.
Womp womp.
All right.
Sound effect for the worst.
My next book, surprisingly, and for being one of the big two, isn't that much better. And
wait,
so
one
bad
of the big two, and it's not good.
This
what
book,
a shock.
And it's a book that I normally don't read, and it's so bad that even the cover started falling apart.
Oh yeah, that's the cover. Yeah.
Yeah, I got this cover, so great, but then I noticed when I go to put in the bag, a little piece of it flaked off.
Oh.
From the Justice League Incarnate Multiverse, if those are falling out. She teleports them all to where they are. And it was funny how she does this. Reminds me of Legends, when Dr. Fate did that, called all the heroes and transported them where it needed to be in the last issue. So I thought, like, oh, that's kind of interesting they did this again. And anyway, they fight against what is supposed to be inside the void between our worlds. Has been this darkness, and now it's come out, and now it wants basically. It reminds me of Black Winter. We've seen this story before. We've seen like there's an evil darkness that wants to take over. So Justice League. I forgot. Do you remember who the guy in the green cape is in this?
Yeah, it's Pariah.
Pariah.
He's the guy from the original Crisis.
Okay, I never read the original Crisis. I read After Crisis.
What? You read all this post-Crisis stuff. You never actually read Crisis?
I'd never cared about Silver Age. So
what on earth, man? No, I'm just kidding. It's probably good. You were probably safe from being let down that much more.
There was no nice fans in the Silver Age. Anyway, so there is a cool scene, and that's the scene when they die. Pariah sticks his hands out, and he basically, you see how they like age. They go from their skin decays and stuff, and they just basically turn it into like skeletons, and that's it. Mm-hmm. So at the end, we have the scene like where the Justice League and the rest of the people, the new league, the 5G league, are like, oh, what do we do now? So, and this is supposed to come out to lead to Dark Crisis coming out later in what?
May, later next month, maybe in June?
Next month or June?
Yeah, it's like a summertime thing.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the trade, so I probably won't read it.
Yes, the stream is lagging. White Circle of Death.
Working fine for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I mean, and blame that on Zach. He likes white circles.
I do not.
All right. So that's
a lie.
That's going back to the bottom of the pile again. That was maybe somebody else will enjoy it more than I did. I just can't get over it.
I told you, if you want to read a good finale, a good Justice League finale, the Scott Snyder, I think it's like issue number 39 or 38. That's a great read. His whole run. It's great.
Next book is We Have Demons.
Is that the new Scott Snyder one?
Yeah. Well, it's not new. It's new on print. I got the full cover.
Oh, okay.
I just love how it just kind of flex.
I haven't read that one yet.
This is actually pretty good for being Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo teaming up again since they did Batman back in New 52. And this I've already read this on digital when it came out because we were part of the Comixology digital first. So I read this about a year ago, and like I say, I love having it. I'm getting a physical cover. I believe there's 3 issues. I'm not sure how many there really is because I stopped reading after issue 3 on the digital, but good story. Different, and it's for being an indie story. I'm just kind of scared how this is going to end, but it's not a bad story. But compared to the books I've been reading from the other books, and it's a little lower on the list. So check this out if you can. If you like Scott Snyder, or if you're like Skip and Tosh, don't try it out because you don't like Scott Snyder. All right, next book. This book surprised me. Because after reading the last issue 23, we had no idea what we were going to do next. Kate came out with issue 24, and this is for those who want Legacy. Yes, Legacy number 750. Yes, quotations. And basically, and it says what it is. It's a funeral for the Allfather, and that's what it is. Thor is giving a eulogy, and then he opens up this book. Only the the kings are Asgardian kings are allowed for enchantment are allowed to see the stories what's written in the book. So he said, "Screw that! I'm going to tell you stories about my father." And this gives excuse. We get we have creative teams. We get a story by Dan Jurgens. We get a story by Al Ewing, and a story by Al Ewing was like, okay, we're just getting excuse to see Lady Thor again.
Don't
Or not
really
Lady
care.
Thor, but I mean Lady Loki.
Lady Loki, yeah. Walt Simonson, you forgot Walt Simonson.
I was getting to it.
How do you do that? The definitive Thor author.
I was getting to it. The better stories.
Okay.
Walt Simonson story in here, Beta Ray Bill, Origins of Beta Ray Bill was great.
Yeah.
We also get a story from Straczynski and Oliver Copio. Continuing where basically Thor he brings in this lawyer, the lawyer who basically was on what we call it, retainer by Donald Blake. This takes place back during his reign, during his run.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay.
That's what it seemed like.
I was trying to figure out where in the timeline it fell.
Because you see Donald Blake in the mirror reflection, and Thor is there. He says, "When I die, I know King though. When I die, I want you to there's gonna be a fight for the throne again. So I want you to do this." And he basically tells him the story about how much he loves Midgard and how people should not worship the gods. God should be worshipped them because gods never they're like a frozen river, and they never change. They're boring. Where humans are able to do so many great feats within their short limited amount of time. And he encourages people to it must be like a propaganda piece if you think about it. Humans, do more. Don't give up. And
like what Superman would say to the monster.
Yeah, and then at the end of that story, that issue, that little story, he says he's like, because they should do what they can, keep living, because they have no idea what's coming. I want to read that story. Give me that. I don't care about Kate's anymore. Just give me more of Straczynski's Thor. That I want to read the rest of that. I was sad because that left me on a cliffhanger. I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
Are you sure that doesn't just so if it does take place at that time period, you don't think that just leads into Siege or something? Like that's a foreshadowing for the events of Siege?
I don't know. I don't know, because he said it's weird because he talks about he's king, and Odin's dead or whatever. Or I don't even know if Odin's dead in that story. But it's supposed to be about the All-Father and stuff, about him. But it was kind of confusing. But I mean, the art was great. It just felt like I was getting ready to read Siege again. It was such a good storyline all the way through up the Thor going into the 600s. It was fun. So overall, this had about three to what? How many stories were there? 5, I think. I think
5. Simonson, yeah. Jurgens, Jason Aaron, Al Ewing. Yeah, I think 5. Well, 6 if you include Donny Cates' book.
Yeah, Donny Cates' opening and ending was good. I liked, especially with the ending.
The ending was interesting. I was the ending I liked a lot.
But the only books I kind of liked were kind of like the Al Ewing's Lady Loki thing, which is Al Ewing one for Defenders Beyond number 1.
And the Jason Aaron one was kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't like Jason Aaron's Thor. I never liked that. I don't like.
It wasn't even about. Well, it wasn't even about Thor. It was about Mjolnir.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I just never cared for his. I mean, like the God Butcher story. I heard that the art one. It was just boring to me.
Yeah.
All right, so Marini's saying she liked the Who Crafted the Bow for the fire arrow that is used for the right.
Yeah, that whole.
It's revealed for the pyre, because they're gonna send him into Odin into space, and they need to fire this golden arrow, and so basically, and the shaft was designed by Hawkeye to make sure it flies, straight. You don't have to worry about anything. So that's kind of cool, and kind of nod to that. Plus, it also keeps in mind it ties into the past previous issues where Hawkeye actually was there when the tree was going black.
Mm-hmm.
Will tree.
Yeah, Idrisil, yeah.
So definitely check this book out. It's worth it. It's $9. So that's the thing now. Some people are like, well, I don't really like Marvel now. I'm not gonna spend $9 on it. No, that's your choice. You can wait a couple years, it'll drop down to $4. If you want to.
Sure. That is true.
Next book. I'm gonna go too long. Deathstroke Incorporated. This was actually kind of interesting because I know where it's going, but the issue after this was like much better, the tie-in. And what I liked about this is that Deathstroke and what is Revenger? Is that his name is? Respawn.
Respawn. Yeah.
They are hiding underground down in San Francisco. For those who are fans of Kolchak the Night Stalker, there was like they talked about old world of San Francisco and Seattle stuff, the underground stuff. Because the Titans used to be over in San Francisco there. Mm-hmm. He had a base there, but it was on an old in the underground bunker in the old part of San Francisco, the underground. So that was kind of interesting too. Because I always love when people. I just love the fact there's an underground city down there. And he's like, yeah, if you wanna, we're gonna be down here for a while. But I just remember there's food in the fridge, but check the expiration. I haven't been here forever. So yep.
It was a better time. It was a better time the last time he was in San Francisco.
And I like this. I guess this one more time. I just love.
That's a pretty cool cover.
Yeah,
I like that.
Is that a variant? Flashback. Yeah, it's a variant.
I like that one.
I believe so. Variant cover by Chris Burnham.
I like that.
So
very cool.
Yep. Next book. We're getting into my next. This is Detective Comics. I gotta say, Mariko Tamaki. Really Mariko Tamaki is doing better and better. This is not part of the Shadow War, whatever's going on right now. It's a separate book. And it's back to being old school Riddler, where Riddler actually was a threat. And I think this is also, I think DC decided they wanted to do this because, well, look how Tinian made him such a joke. And the fact that he was recently in the Batman movie is a challenge. So, I mean, and I've always preferred having Riddler being actually not a pushover. Because I felt what happened to Spider-Man. All his villains became, well, we fought so many times, I know how to beat you all the time, so you're just basically no longer a threat. I like the fact that the Riddler is still upping his game, and he's no longer being, I guess, like a shaved-headed weirdo like he was in Tinian's run. He's back to having his hair, his ginger hair. But it's weird is he has a ginger goatee in this. So it's like, and somebody said, is that Oliver cosplaying as a Riddler? He dyed his hair. So, yeah, check it out if you like Riddler versus Batman. Also, there's also a new first appearance of what's her name? Deb Donovan, is that her name? Is she's a journalist. Her daughter is a judge in that. So first appearance of her daughter.
Okay.
Who flirts hardcore with Bruce Wayne.
Interesting.
Actually, it might be your second appearance. Now I think about it, because they said they met before when Bruce still had money, and they met on when he was still living in that little apartment building before shit hit the fan. But Robin is my next book. This is better. This is better than the Food Court of Wiles. You know what, Breen? I hope she does, and I hope you read it. Robin. I never finished the Robin Island story, but apparently Respawn and them, they all know each other. I gotta say, this was actually kind of interesting to see, because there's a character, we probably know who Respawn is. Mm-hmm. They unmask him in this. I'm not gonna say who it is, but wow, the art in this is good. The storytelling is good in this. And you even get to see Damian gets to use the Batwing. He gets to drive the Batwing at the end. Because Bruce wants to make it up to him for letting Roz die. And so he's like, well, how can you forgive me and stuff, and you're upset with me. He's like, and Demon does like smile. He's like, let me drive. It's for those who know, it's an ongoing joke that all the Robins never get to drive the Batmobile or anything like stuff. So they're like, when they finally get to drive, it's like, oh my god, this is great. Those who remember the horrible Batman movie, Batman Forever, I think it was. Was that one with Chris O'Donnell?
Was that Batman and Robin? Batman and Robin had him, but I think Batman Forever had him too.
First, yes, it was Batman Forever. They let him. He stole the Batmobile.
Yeah.
All right.
More Jason Todd moment.
Now I only have 2 more books, because that was my top third.
Oh wow, light week for you.
Yeah. Actually, no. I didn't get a chance to finish reading it, but I'll talk about it. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be one of the better books, but I don't know where to rank it though. Berserker. This has been great all the way through. I don't want to. I'm not gonna. Hard to say what I want to say about this because I don't want to give away anything. But holy crap, this has been like. By the way, this is the better cover. The other cover is just him being a caveman, almost naked.
That's real. That is the cool cover.
Unless you're a fan of Keanu Reeves that much, you want to see caveman Keanu Reeves.
Nope.
They are testing out his powers on this, but so they buried him in like this field, and they're like, because apparently he can charge up his energy like Goku or Dragon Ball Z, and he lets it go, and it created a 2-mile wide crater and killed a bunch of people, including one of the scientists gets injured, and he's able to travel back in time in this episode, going back to his birthplace time. Other than that, it's evil scientists versus a guy who just wants to die. That's pretty much the story's been so far. With other characters, yeah.
You must have unbagged all the copies of Berserker.
Yeah, but yeah. Matt Kent is great on this. Keanu Reeves also is giving him as far as they're both listed as co-writers or co-creators.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, I mean, if Keanu Reeves is I don't think he's writing, but I think he's giving some of the ideas too. So plus remember they said this is opted for a movie or TV series a while back.
Yeah.
So as long as it doesn't go to Netflix, I'm good with that. Netflix doesn't know how to write stories or adapt things without saying like, oh, remember all these white characters? Well, they're all mixed races now.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty rare to find a good show over there.
Number 1 book of the week. I had to get both covers because it is such a fantastic book. And I'm sure you've probably read this. If you haven't read this, I'm going to hit you. Well, not right now. I can't remember.
You can't really. I mean, we're not next to each other.
Are you sure about that?
I don't know. Now I'm nervous.
This is all a green screen behind me.
Oh my God.
All right.
I'm already in the house. Oh, you got both of them.
Had to.
Nice.
Oh, I'm trying to get it on there so it's small. Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like the second. I still like the second one better. The cover B.
Oh, which one? The one on the right?
The one with Terry McGinnis and the Back to the Future shoes.
There's this one. This was the cover A.
That's pretty cool. That's the movie poster cover. Oh, look, he's actually Nightwing on that one though.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's supposed to be like mentor versus teacher.
Yeah, that's
mentor versus
cool.
training, or whatever you call.
Yeah, mentor.
It's just I love it. This is the other cover. So if you look, you even have Dick Grayson there in the cover. So this actually has been one of the better books coming out of DC so far. And I'm not that's because I'm biased or anything like that. It's just the way that Sean Gordon Murphy does things has actually been kind of really cool. He's building his own little world. We're getting creative stories. The villains on this are great. And it's the fact that I'm a huge Batman Beyond fan. And seeing somebody kind of reimagine it, but not butcher it. We've had so many people, it's like, well, I'm going to take a run at this. And then you're like, don't understand the character. And then it's just like, dude, what the hell? So, the main character on that looks like Eric. It's one of your super grumpy man.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
I mean, if Eric gets this jacked, then I'll agree.
Yeah, I'll be terrified if he.
Right.
I will never make fun of him again.
He'll force you to eat hot death. He will just say it. His hot death will be his fists. So, yeah. What more to say about that? I mean, and there's a huge spoiler at the end. For those who, if you haven't read it yet, you need to go and actually pick up The Curse of the White Knight or the Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
It is storytelling, and it's basically, if you want to, everybody breaks about Cates. Well, he did this and he created this with Thor and everything. Cates has been world building and actually making it so it's actually like you actually want to read the next page. You know.
You mean Murphy?
I mean, sorry, Murphy. Yeah,
You said Kate's.
I'm so.
I don't mind Kate's world
Yeah.
building, but I
No,
know
yeah.
you don't feel the same
Oh,
way.
I'm distracted because my camera is trying to get back in focus. I'm just making it worse. There it goes.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Holy crap! I thought I was E for seconds. No, no, it is one of the better ish stories out. I'm just loving everything he does with it. From Batman being out, he's outed. He's no longer, the public knows that he's Batman. And at first, I didn't like that idea, but now it's kind of cool seeing where Neil got there. Bruce Wayne has been locked up for how many years, and if he finally gets out, he's like, because Jason Todd lets him out. He's like, what the hell's going on? What happened to my city? It's all futuristic looking and all stuff. And it's like, and with Terry working for Derek Powers, the guy who took over basically Wayne Enterprises. And the fact that Bruce knows that Derek's not a good person, but he also knows that somebody took the suit, and you got Dick Grayson in this issue confronting him. It's like, or no,
Dick.
Yeah, and he fights against him, and Bruce wins, and then Barbara shows up, and he's like, we find out that Barbara wasn't. She left the GTO because she realized how you're basically not what you're supposed to be. So you went from a vigilante to an oppressor. Neil Gotham is under martial law pretty much. The citizens have no freedoms whatsoever. And then she said, that's why I left, because you chose a GTO over our relationship. So I was like, it's staying in line with the Batman Beyond, where they're no longer a couple anymore.
Good. You should be with Starfire anyway.
And she's commissioner of the police. She's Commissioner Gordon. I like that. So yeah. What they did with Terry backstory will suck. I forgot, was there a backstory in this?
Backstory.
Wait. He's talking about his background, how they changed everything. About his father and why he's working for Powers. They did change it a little bit. So that was kind of interesting because, and then I gotta take about when you read, as far as the Batman Beyond stuff, you gotta realize this is anything by I'll just say Kate's again. I don't know why. Kate's. Hurrah! No, Sean Gordon Murphy. Everything he writes, he's gonna twist it a little bit. So and I've always heard this from Zach and right else. Well, we don't want everything to be exactly the same, otherwise it'd be boring because we know what's gonna happen. Sometimes I like having that, but I also don't like it. I mean, but little changes I don't mind. But when you change a big aspect about a character, that would piss me off. And that's what you do with Spider-Man. Sorry, I had to get in. But no, that's my best book of the week. The other book I was just going to talk about, I'm halfway through reading it, 72 pages. It has been the Dracula Story.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the scope, 72 pages. And she's basically, her father, Dracula, went to hell, and she went to go free him, but she had to get captured. She breaks out, and she's going to free her dad, but it turns out if she frees him, he's just going to turn into ashes. And so she learns that his, not soul, but his essence, whatever, what makes him powerful he is, the three evil hell princes of hell, are using his power as power. So she has to go through the different parts of hell, the realms, and kill them to collect her dad's power to basically free him. And I gotta say, the art in this is actually really, really good. Let me get this. Here's some of the art.
Oh,
yeah.
Tentacles.
Yep. Let me see if I can get to the next page for it. But yeah, that's the freaking monster.
Gnarly.
Yeah, he'll turn the ash in 3, 2, 1. Really? No. Like I said, I've just been a fan of the storytelling and the art. So when they do like the monsters, it actually looks good compared to some of the other stuff I've seen. Yeah, and then and we also, for those who don't know, that Charlotte is actually on the cover here. She's actually the sister of Lizelle or Lisette Van Helsing.
Oh, okay.
The other Van Helsing, which in Xenoscope has the hat and everything like that. That's her sister.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's see. The page of picture of her. 1 second. I'll show you. But yeah, some of the stuff in here is like like I said, there's more of that tentacle monster guy. Yeah. So, like I said, if you're looking for good story, good art, like that, check it out. And I'm not sure where I'd rank that. Probably rank it in the middle somewhere, because the problem with some of these books, when they get too long, like, sometimes they kind of like are dull in the middle and then they speed up again. You know what I mean? Kind of like a movie.
Yeah.
So it's rare when I find a book where I'm going through it. It's like where I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to read the next page. Keep going. This, I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5 average. But like I said, the art at least is decent in there, and I guess I'm not getting sold. Hey, you should go check out this worst book that's coming out in a few weeks at Marvel. No, there's no Marvel ads, so that's always a plus. All right, so that was my best. So let's go. If I've wasted a half an hour, let's go to you finally.
Okay, yeah, sure. So, starting off is one I haven't started reading it yet. I had a good chunk of books to get through today. So, I did get the G.I. Joe Cobra.
Nice.
They say it's a one-shot. It's really more accurate to call it. I mean, it is a bunch of short stories, kind of like Thor, but it's actually reprints of old G.I. Joe issues. 3 of them from the Marvel run, I believe, and then the one at the bottom, 280, is I think that's an IDW run. You could definitely tell the change in the art. But yeah, it's a collection of G.I. Joe stories centered around Cobra. Mainly I see there's Deathstroke, Cobra Commander. Of course, there's some of the Joes, like there's
That's
Lady
cool.
J.
Like the early 90s, 80s art.
Yeah, yeah. 3 of the stories are like that. When you get to the one to the back, it's one that focuses on the Baroness. And yeah, that one right there towards the back, that's IDW,
That's
280.
cool.
So yeah, it looks really cool.
Who's the writers on that again?
This is all Larry Hama.
Larry Hama.
All Larry Hama.
Who's the artist?
Depends. You've got Rod Wiggum, Ron Wagner,
Chief Wiggums?
and Ron Joseph. A lot of Rons and Rods do art for G.I. Joe.
Larry likes rods, I guess. Oh.
There's actually this really cool one, the Unmasking cover. This is the very first one. This is number 55. It's got Snake Eyes, Destro, and Cobra Commander on it. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
I haven't gotten to read it yet. It's a thick book though. It's like 100 pages. I like the cover a lot too, with all the villains on there. It's a little misleading. Storm Shadow is not in any of the stories, so that's kind of a bummer. But other than that, it's really cool. All right, so I'll kind of go in the same order that you did. Worst to best. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it up
3
there.
more books.
I don't have a whole lot of good to say about this one.
Good, they'll give Eric like 20 minutes to bitch about Spider-Man.
Yeah. If you're gonna kill him, I mean, at least don't advertise it. I think that if it is
that was the other thing too.
As overplayed as deaths are in comic books, if it's a shock factor, at least it'll be a surprise. You'll get that element out of it, at least for a little bit. But I didn't even know this. Did you know that it's like this comes back and then you can actually
did not even know.
Did you know that? I just found that out. I was trying to get the Todd Knock variant cover. My LCS didn't get it again, so that was
I did not know this unless it's a variant cover.
It's a variant. This isn't. This is the regular cover.
Yeah.
This is cover A.
Wow.
The one I wanted was a variant, but they didn't have it.
I never noticed that.
The artist is actually really good. Rafa Sandoval is really good artist. I really like his style. It's just unfortunate it's this book. There are some cool scenes. I will say there are some cool scenes. There's this one where the Justice League is fighting. I don't even know if they have a name. The Dark Legion, Dark Army is what Pariah calls them.
My Dark Army.
And yeah, it's basically the shadowed versions of the greatest villains. So you've got Ares, Darkseid, Eclipso, Doomsday, Black Hand, and some other one. I think he's a Flash villain. I'm not sure. But yeah, there is some really cool art. trying to think of if there's anything good to say here. There is this really cool scene. Who was it?
Stewart, yes.
Chip Zdarsky did this in the Justice League run, last ride that he did, where Jon Stewart makes all the other Justice League members out of his ring. That is a really cool scene.
I was just saying, I thought somebody did a tribute to that in the cartoons or comic books. Like, I've seen
never in the cartoon. Not that I've seen. I haven't seen
what it was? I think it might have been in Jon Stewart did it in the Justice League cartoon where he was. Remember they were trapped in another world, and they had to go against like the knockoff JSA. He created.
I haven't seen that episode.
I think that's where I remembered from that episode. But
and and there's also this little thing I don't want to say, because Joshua Williamson wrote this issue, and I don't want to speak ill of Joshua Williamson, but Josh, I think you might have gotten this plot point from Deceased, because like Venkman was saying at the beginning, all the Justice League members get teleported out. Green Arrow, you can see here, he's not getting teleported out, but Black Canary is. What does he do? He grabs onto Black Canary and gets teleported. It's very similar to Deceased, where Black Canary is going with everyone back to Earth. Green Arrow goes along, even though they don't want him to, and he's the one that gets bitten and turned into a zombie.
It's kind of him, like.
In this,
it makes sense. I think that was in. We read 2006 Justice League issue where she was gonna. They came. He thought it was for her, but they're actually there for Roy.
Yeah, but he doesn't die in that run.
No, I know. Spoilers. Yeah. But I was just saying it made more sense with the fact that she was being taken and it wasn't planned, so that's why he'd go with her because they're lovers.
Yeah, it's the same. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the similarity. It's like, hey, the Green Arrow volunteers to go on this thing that nobody's asking him to do, and he's the first one that ends up dying. That was the similarity that I was talking about.
I guess
there is this fun little line though talking about going to make chili because the Green Arrow makes chili in the satellite era.
I just gotta say though, and I've heard this from other people too, and I just gotta check out Joe's Geek Show or Geek Show Joe. I can't be his name, but he said it made me laugh. He's like, yeah, Oliver gets pummeled by Doomsday. There shouldn't be anything left. You should be paced. Instead, he's like, I love you, pretty bird. And dies. Or something like that. I forgot what he said. But it was like, he shouldn't be able to speak. He should be like, Doomsday killed Superman.
Well, they're not real. They're not the real Doom. It's not the real Doomsday. Well, just like it's not the real Darkseid.
They said Darkseid was there, but they're being controlled. Darkseid's usually not this kind of. No,
Darkseid. Well, yeah, Darkseid's not a brawler. Yeah.
No, you're not a brawler. They're being controlled by the chains on them. So was Darkseid.
Yeah. I hear you. But I mean. Pretty much, I just got the cover. I just got the book just so I could finish off the collections. I have a complete run. This is
This book will give you the runs.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like I said, I'm not looking forward to. I'm not going to be reading Dark Crisis most likely.
To be fair though, I got that book just so I can watch them die.
Well, that's just rude.
No, I want if you can't write them properly, kill them.
I did get Robin, the other Williamson book, out this week. This was better. I enjoyed this one. I liked seeing Robin and Bruce team up again. That was fun. Robin being on his own was really neat to read, but it's nice to see him kind of at least start to reconcile with Bruce. I like that a lot.
What do you think with the Respawn reveal?
The Respawn reveal it reminded me a lot of the Jeff Johns Teen Titans and a certain character with a similar situation over there. But overall, I didn't mind it, really. I don't really have a dog. I don't care really one way or the other.
I gotta say, that was probably my better of the books that came out for DC, especially former Titans members.
I've got a few more. I've got a few more thoughts. Gonna get through these.
We respect women.
I've got a few of these. I got Thor. Now I got the Daniel Warren Johnson variant of
nice
Thor with Beta Ray Bill with the Twilight Sword.
I only went to one shop and I got what was there. Usually I go to my other shop and get the variant covers, but I was like, you know what? For a $9 book, I don't want to get more than one copy.
I didn't either. This is the one. This was, and yeah, like Van Gogh said, I won't stay too long on this one. He talked about most of it. There's some really good stories in here. I really like the Daniel Jurgens one. That one probably might be my
I
favorite
forgot which
one.
one his was about.
That's the one where Thor. It's like '90s Thor, I guess, and it has Baldur the Brave in it.
Oh yeah,
And
is that the one with Destroyer?
he's got the enchanted armor that Odin says is gonna like
Oh
corrupt him.
yeah, the shield. He said, yeah, he has a
Yeah, the
shield. He has
shield and the belt and everything. Yeah.
yeah.
So
He says if you
there's a
use
lot
it,
of Baldur the Brave in it, which I thought was really cool.
yeah,
He's
I remember.
very
Yeah,
underused.
that's what it was. He said that if the guards are like, no, what's wrong? We should use this. This is great armor. He's like, no, my son. What happens is that it takes away your sense of what right and wrong.
Yeah.
It corrupts you.
Yeah.
And
So that was a cool story.
was that Machine Man with him?
Mm-hmm.
Who was the green robot thing that was with him to destroy that Odin restored to life?
Recorder,
the great recorder, or something
like that. Yeah. The Simonson story, I wanted to like it, but it's basically just a retelling of Beta Ray's origins. It's like, okay, I've kind of know this. I would have liked.
I didn't know it if I liked it. That's why
I would have liked something more.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall though, the Donny Cates stuff, yeah, the beginning and the end was really good. Even I gotta say, I was mildly interested. The Al Ewing, the Loki story, it was kind of cool. They obviously took a page from the show where that version of Loki was talking to the Loki at the funeral.
Broken thickeners on her helmet.
Yeah, that part was kind of cool. I didn't care for the Jason Aaron story because it's
I guess as much as people love the original Loki, I didn't mind the lady Loki, the Agent Asgard thing, because he wasn't really, he could switch between genders, because that was kind of similar to what Loki would do in the Norwegian stories and stuff like that.
Yeah,
more and stuff. Loki was no longer wasn't just one gender. He was he was he was the 66, 7 or 80 different genders, identity.
Yeah. But yeah, and then the Donny Cates ending was really interesting too. The ending was probably the most interesting part. I think as he moves forward in Thor, that'll probably be addressed. The ending, the cliffhanger.
We're already saying of those recorders, 421 played a part in the Kieran Gillen run of Iron Man, which should only be read in issue number 16 exclusive and stop there. Oh,
okay.
Oh, cool.
I did pick this up.
Oh, I was going to ask you. That is the worst book of the week.
I did get this. Parts of it are. The parts with the students are, as always. The parts with the original members are actually readable. And I wish that we could just get a book that just focused on the original Titans, not the students. The students are the worst part.
This is why you're the guest of the week.
Actually, and you know what? I didn't even mind the Cyborg Beast Boy merge part. Wasn't the worst part of the book.
Oh my gosh. Who are you?
Are you serious? You think that was the worst part of the book? No,
the
Young Justice Dark was the worst part of the book. But I will say
all the way through was bad. I don't think there was anything good.
There was. You didn't like the little George Perez homage that was in there? That was really cool.
That was a cry for here, we're trying. Oh God, we suck.
No, I thought that did get a little chuckle out of me. Where they have George Perez show up and
cringe.
He's looking at a Titan sketch and he's like, "I'm something of an artist myself." I thought that was fun. I'm sorry, it's cheesy, but I dug it.
That's like Marvel putting a Stanley book in.
I wish it had more of the teachers in there. Instead, it's focused on the cringiest of the students, the rag girl and the bat kids.
Show them.
I want them to never come back from not Nubia. I want them to never come back from Apocalypse. That's the perfect way this book can end.
Go back to where he's shaving.
What?
He's trying to shave.
It looks like an episode of the cartoon, to be honest. I'm pretty sure there may be an episode of the cartoon where Cyborg and Beast Boy, I mean, at least they should be.
Oh, they're merged together. And this was, remember they said
5G unmerged. They're going to be unmerged. Oh, yeah, like you bought that 5G. We're in fear state for Batman right now. How is 5G averted? This one wasn't bad. I mean, most of the time, Teen Titans Academy is a letdown. This one still is, but not as much as past issues have been. And one more issue to go. The series is done, and I can
I can't
save
believe that was like that was
$4.
above the other books.
I'm a shocker. I know. Well, you talked about Thor too, so I didn't want to harp on that one too much.
That's okay.
I also got this one. Dark Knights of Steel #6. Remember when I said on Tuesday? I said on Tuesday, this is his chance to start changing my mind. He actually did it with this. I'm surprised. This is better than the past 2 or 3 issues have been. This one's not bad. There's no Batman in this one, and Superman doesn't come across as evil in the issue really.
I
And,
apologize to anybody who's watching right now.
yeah, this one was not that bad. Tom Taylor did not fall back on his. Well, he did fall back on one of his tropes.
He did not fall. Wait, he did fall back on that.
He did fall back on one, but it wasn't one he's done that I've read before. So in the story, Supergirl has killed Jefferson Pierce, King Pierce, Black Lightning, and so because she's done that, there's a war brewing now between the House of L and the House of Lightning, they call it. And so Superman is now trying to, I guess, ready and bulk up for war. There's some cool stuff that goes on here. Amanda Waller is in Superman's kingdom. So she's kind of, being like one of those sneaky messenger people on Game of Thrones and trying to move pawns and places in order. Constantine, who is in Jefferson Pierce's camp, is trying to resurrect Pierce. Can't do that because Pierce had his heart punched out by Supergirl. So he consults Ra's al Ghul, who is also Etrigan. Etrigan and Ra's al Ghul are the same person. So they're consulting. They're trying to bring back the other member of Jefferson Pierce's family, which was a son that he had. Let me see what else happened here. The Amazons are, I think for some reason, they're supposed to be siding with Black Lightning's kingdom, but Superman goes to them and tries to convince them to fight for his kingdom instead, since Supergirl and Wonder Woman are a couple. He meets Lois Lane, which was interesting. And yeah, it seems like there's a bunch of action that's going to start ramping up. Ra's al Ghul mentions the Titans, so I think the next issue we'll probably see the Teen Titan, the medieval version of the Teen Titans. Up till now, it's only been Robins that we've seen. Harley Quinn, court jester Harley Quinn, who is one of the best parts of the book. She has an appearance in here. She's funny. She's fun to read. So. Yes, one of the Robins is a spy. Tim Drake is the spy one in the Black Lightning Castle, the Black Lightning Kingdom. He actually gets found out and double-crossed by Constantine. And so he gets, sent back. So there's that one. This one, I just read it.
Okay.
I read what she said about the Robins, yeah. I picked up this one because I've been on a big Sonic the Hedgehog kick recently with the games and the movies and stuff. So this is their new run from IDW. This is not the Archie comics. They it's a little different than what I remember. It's a fun little lighthearted read. Sonic and Tails are kind of like, a young, youthful Batman and Robin. Pretty fun, creepy cover. This new character is like a little robot girl. I think that was invented by Dr. Eggman. She's trying to be good, but there's like a subwriting in her or a subcode in her programming that turns her evil for a little bit. Really just good, lighthearted, fun to read. Sonic and Tails, they read like kids, like Teen Titans or New Warriors. So
yes,
fun little read. Not too bad. And then, of course, Vinkman talked a lot about it, so I won't harp on it too long. But yeah, this was a really great issue. I really enjoyed it. What they did with Jack Napier was really interesting. I really liked that one. Kind of reminded me of the Arkham games a little bit. Sean Gordon Murphy continues the fun Arkham little Knight thing he does with the shadows. He continues to do that, which I really like, the attention to detail he does with the shadows. And then there's a fun little plot twist at the end. Fun little plot twist at the end.
You know what it really reminded me of? Return of the Joker with the chip.
I haven't read that one.
No, you've never not Return of the Joker. It's based on a story you read. It's Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker.
I didn't watch Batman Beyond.
Really? Wow,
Never
because that was a nod to that as well.
Oh, okay.
Joker.
Yeah, I never
Yes.
watched Batman Beyond. No, it never got around to
That's
it.
what he does to Bruce and all stuff. The whole thing that happened to Jason. Jason Todd.
Oh, okay.
Not
Okay.
Jason. Not Jason. Tim Drake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a really cool one. Like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing where I don't know how many issues this is supposed to be. I don't think it's going to be like an ongoing. It might be a 6 or a 10 issue miniseries, but yeah, a lot of fun. Really great book. The
I know
artwork
the
is
Harley Quinn
amazing.
went for 6.
Harley Quinn was 6, but
And
I
then
think
Curse the White Knight was 10.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, enough to put in a hardcover or something like
Enough where you're like, you're getting a full story. You're not getting rushed.
that.
It's
Right.
It's not like Moon Knight where you're only getting 6 episodes and it's like, okay,
Right.
you leave me on a cliffhanger. So,
Well, there's the cliffhanger in this. It
Yeah.
was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, really great issue. If you're getting one book, this should be your one book. No
all
doubt
right,
about
so I'm gonna give the link. If Breen's still around, I'm gonna let him jump on, and this is where we get Breen rants.
it. Hey, but I did get Spider-Man today.
That's probably the only thing good Spider-Man out right now. Unless you get back issues. So
I'm trying to think. What was the last really good Spider-Man issue that I read?
I don't know, but
I did read the Sinister War. That one was fun. Just like doing it was like Where's Waldo of all the different Spidey villains. Superior Foes of Spider-Man was fun. They didn't have Spider-Man in it though. That was the like Boomerang and Shocker and Beetle and them.
2 minute. Yes. All right.
2
Breen,
minutes.
I just sent you the thing, and we'll give Breen the floor, and Breen can tell us why it just doesn't work.
Also, that guy in Spider-Man, the least liked guy in comics right now, the picture, he looks just like Sean King.
Does he? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Have you not seen the comparison?
No, I haven't.
On Twitter, they did a comparison. Like the guy at that last few pages at the end showed his face next to Sean King's. It's the same guy.
No. All right. So I guess Breen. I'm saying he needs 2 minutes.
Does he need 2 minutes? Oh, maybe he needs. Yeah, maybe he needs 2 minutes. I don't think he's going to limit himself to just 2 minutes.
Well, we do have another stream coming up shortly, which we'll have to push back a little bit.
Yes, that's right. And after this one ends, make sure you stick around because about 5 minutes or so after this one ends, we're going to be jumping into another one. We're talking about more Superman. We got Superman #1 and #2, Action Comics #584, and Superman 424. So yeah, a lot of John Burns Superman goodness as we're here on National Superhero Day. I found out today was on Twitter. It's trending. So what better way to spend that than talking about classic Superman?
Right. Yep. All right. That's why I couldn't hear you. Somebody on here took the sound off. So when a guest appears, they took rid of the pop noise they usually hear.
Who did that? That's weird.
Yeah,
because you didn't hear me when I came in earlier either. Yeah, that was weird.
Must have been the puppets. Remember, they don't have ears.
They're trying to sabotage. No, they're trying to sabotage us. That's what they're doing.
Probably.
I guarantee you.
Did they really ever try though? There he is.
They don't like us humans. So
all right.
Why am I?
We're gonna give Breen the full screen here. I'm gonna change it to.
That works.
Spider-Man in the background. What's your rant?
Okay. What was your take on the book? I
thought the book was beyond filth. That was, I mean, One More Day and looks like a saint compared to that.
Well, One More Day was also the prototype of No Way Home, so it kind of is.
Well, that was One Moment of Time. I think that was called.
Oh. Okay, I have to say to our good friend Captain Frugal, I think your mask is too tight. because that was his book of the week.
Was it really?
Yes.
I think he was trolling. There's no way anybody can like that because
Hey, it takes all kinds of people to make the world go
the
round.
thing. The bit with MJ and the kids, that's easily explained. She started dating a guy that has kids, and they're calling her mom. No problem. I get that.
Okay. I thought they were hers. Like, I thought she had had
redhead.
Okay.
No, it's why that guy looks like Sean King, I don't know.
He paid somebody off.
Put
me in a Spider-Man book.
Now the Randy Robertson. Now has he been dating Tombstone's daughter?
He has been in the Spencer's run.
Okay.
This is Robbie's son.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I like that better when it was Romeo and Juliet.
Because Robbie was the Prowler, wasn't he?
No.
In the
Miles Morales' uncle is the Prowler.
No, but I thought in the actual books. Well, maybe he was. Yeah.
Here's the thing. There's only one of two ways that this is going to go. One of them is this is all going to be explained over time, and Peter and Mary Jane will get back together again until the next writer does the same shit to them. At some point, you can only cry wolf so many times. And what's unforgivable about this book was what a complete and total asshole Peter Parker is.
That was the other thing I heard. I heard that Peter Parker was very unlikable.
Yeah, there's no. That's the one I said. The kids you can explain. The Mary Jane moving on you can explain. Blah blah blah. But and there might even be an explanation for why Peter's become such an asshole. But at some point, you run out of goodwill, and if this is going somewhere, who's going to care by then? Or and this is the one I think is more likely. They are trying to make comic book fans, because they're never going to lose the normies. They're going to come pile into the theaters every time there's a Peter Parker Spider-Man movie. But they want comic book fans to hate him so they can sweep him aside and make Miles Morales the one true Spider-Man in the comics. I don't know, I mean, of course I know why. But, as I said, it because they've been taking dumps on this guy for 20 years now. And there's been far more bad Spider-Man than good. And this issue was just awful. I would love to have had Frugal come on, because I'd like to know why he liked it.
Yeah. I gotta say though, with all the crap they've been doing for the past 20 years with him, the whole thing with MJ being moved on, that sounds a feminist idea, where he's such a horrible person, she shouldn't have to put up with this crap. She should have moved on, and she finally did.
She's been moving on for 20 years.
I know, but I'm saying this was the final nail in the coffin, saying like, you know what, she's got kids with somebody else.
No, she didn't have kids.
Simple math and biology will tell you that.
We don't expect them to know how to tell time, do we?
But it's at some point you either give the fans what they want, or just come out and say, we don't want you reading our books. Just kill them off. Kill them off. Send him to Belize with Mike Ehrmantraut. Oh, sorry, I just spoiled Breaking Bad for you.
I finished Breaking Bad a few days ago. I'm on Better Call Saul now.
I came across people that liked it when Mary Jane was with Tony, and they're like, "Well, I hope Tony and MJ hook up." I'm like, these are the people they're catering towards to.
Well, no, the people they're catering to are the next generation of kids the
ones they want to be the Miles.
That Miles Morales is their Spider-Man.
That's yes.
Yeah, because I said they would like nothing better than to usher out all the old heroes and have the new ones
all replaced by Miles Morales.
Well, no, just in general. I mean,
they had the what if Miles was for.
You know what I'm shocked about? I'm surprised they want Miles this. Why don't they have Miles and Spider-Gwen being an item in the comic books?
I thought they did.
They tried to, but then it never went anywhere. They want to make Peter Parker such a horrible person. I mean, they want to do their own M2 version where Peter is no longer Spider-Man. They do that, kick him out, and they're going to have Miles be taking over. And it's horrible.
There was nothing about this issue that made me want to even crack open number 2. And I wouldn't have read the first one, but I wanted to have, I wanted to at least have some basis for, I wanted to read this before I started unloading on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, absolutely. I
I've
would
heard
do the
enough
same.
to where you could probably do it without
I
reading
read
it.
through
It'd be
it.
pretty accurate.
John
Yeah.
Romita's art on this is just horrendous.
Okay.
I still like his
I'm
art.
going to disagree with you. I thought I'm not a fan of his art, and I think he's definitely gone south over the years. I thought this was better than anything he's done in years.
Wow.
And the art was the least of my problems.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, the art. I
Okay.
said, for me,
Interesting.
the art. Yeah, the art wasn't the biggest thing, but the art really could tell that it's like, wow, this. Is
You know what? Did you read? Oh God, what was that? Silencer.
I flipped through it. Didn't read it though.
It was very good, but he was the artist on the first several issues.
I know he did Superman year 1.
That was trash.
Yeah.
And his Superman New 52 was trash.
Yeah.
I think
No offense to John Romita Jr. because I said I've got hundreds of his books where I love his art.
I think the last thing of his I read was when Bendis was doing the Avengers. He did like the first 2 story arcs.
His style, it's the same. His style, when he used to copy his dad, you could tell he actually was drawing better at that stage, even when he was because he didn't always perfectly emulate his dad back in the 80s, early 90s. But yeah, you can tell his art's gone really far south. It's like, and and I've always said Marvel should have a house style for Spider-Man, the way you draw him. If you can't draw him that way, then we'll get another artist, because they would say, like, artists would complain, well, we hardly get paid anything. Well, why are you still there then? Go work somewhere else.
I said I'm not saying it was good, but it was better than anything he's done.
I wanted to read Ryder Osmo or look at Ryder Osmo.
No, you lost me there.
No, that's
no. Maybe it's because I've got decades of Romita Jr. art that I did like, that I can. But like I said, his art on Superman in New 52 was so bad I couldn't read it.
Yeah.
And at least this was. Again, I said, maybe I didn't notice the art because I was too busy hating the story.
That can happen.
And I really just put it this way: they should be very lucky that they have the adjective. That's right. Is that the adjective in front of Spider-Man?
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, so it
is amazing. Yeah,
but that's an adjective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Take note that this is also Zeb Wells who wrote Avenging Spider-Man.
It's been that book sucked too. They're lucky that that's the adjective in front of Spider-Man, because if it said spectacular, web of, sensational, whatever the hell other ones they've done, they would have 1/4 the sales.
They've changed the word of
problem. They, just like Batman will outsell Detective. It doesn't matter who's on Batman. It doesn't matter who's on Detective. Batman will always outsell. Spider-Man Amazing will always outsell every other Spider-Man book. And they ought to consider themselves fortunate, because without that adjective, this is a 25,000 max seller.
And I just want to say this: they've changed the meaning of amazing. It went from amazing being like, "Wow, that's great," like, and they're like, "Wow, what the fuck is that?"
So anyway, that's my rant. I'm sorry if it wasn't as
no, it's okay. I think I was talking to Zach behind the scenes, and I'm thinking that next week for our retrospective should be Spider-Man, from popularity to popular being not bought.
Well, we should at least do an issue. We should talk. Why don't we do, if it's going to be more discussion, why don't we do the kid who collected Spider-Man, so we can show by its heights, and then we can talk about how it's
Yeah, because we'll have this. We'll talk about this crappy issue more, and compare it to the other books. Because Zach's read over the years, he's been reading with us on the channel here, reading the Spider-Man books through Stan Lee. He's read the New Avengers by Bendis, the Spider-Man being in there. So you've seen different versions of Spider-Man. So I think we should talk about from being great to being crap, and why Marvel hates Spider-Man.
Yeah. So Zach, when you hear us talking about Spider-Man, do you go, "The hell are they talking about? He's always sucked." I mean, have you read any of the good stuff from the 20th century?
Shoot. I mean, I know I've never read Kraven's Last Hunt, which I think is the one that I hear most people talk about and praise.
But it's a great story, but it doesn't give you an indication of of what
Yeah.
He'll tell you how much of a hero he is, but Peter Parker is almost non-existent in that story, and Peter Parker is an integral part of Spider-Man. So, if that was your first great Spider-Man story you read,
I didn't read it.
If it was, I said, I don't know, you'd have the appreciation for how important Peter is, and then why a long-standing fan like myself just got angrier with each page of this one.
Yeah, I think when I got into Marvel, let me see, I read the first thing I think I read Spider-Man in it was the breakout story arc for New Avengers that Bendis wrote. I also read there was some Marvel team up, not the ones like the ones E has at auction. It was a little bit more modern one. I think it took place like shortly after House of M or something.
It was the Kirkman run.
Yeah, that's right. It was Kirkman. You're right. Yeah, because that was the one with like Spider-Man. He teamed up with like Moon Knight or Daredevil, and I read in that one because he was still a science teacher. Last thing I remember is some other teacher wanted to have an affair with him, and he said no. That and he fought Thanos with She-Hulk and Miss Marvel. But yeah, I read some of them in that run. Like I said, Bendis' New Avengers run, and never really read any of the solo stuff really. Ultimate Spider-Man I read some of when I got into the Ultimate stuff. But Ultimate Spider-Man it started off too slow for me. Like I already knew a bunch of stuff of his origin, rather from just Wikipedia or the movies because I had seen the Sam Raimi movies 100 times by then.
Like I said, I would Kraven's Last Hunt always, you could read through Web of Spider-Man was always good too. Those stories.
I wanted to start reading. I've got the first couple of issues in the McFarlane run. I wanted to start with the McFarlane run.
I like the 300s because you get you get more of you get Todd McFarlane stuff, but you also get Venom. You get the Hobgoblin. Going all the way through 300s into the early 400s. Then that goes into the Clone Saga and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So man,
and I know vague stuff. Like I know who the Jackal is. I just don't know like details like of the clone.
So I think next week we'll talk about Spider-Man. That'll be our character we talk about. And
sweet.
So
that'll be fun.
That being said, hope you guys enjoyed our little not the rant. Maybe you enjoyed the rant too.
Maybe.
If you guys like this kind of content and you like seeing Breen on here yelling every once in a while. If you like Zach being a guest on the show, drop $1 in the Ko-Fi band.
If you want to see Venkman replaced with an organ grinder's monkey,
those are expensive. I don't think we can get those.
Yeah.
Not
also
the budget.
So donate now.
Donate now, and in the comments below, let us know what you picked up this week too, because we want to know what y'all are reading. If there's something good out there that we're missing, we want to know about it. And hello to Gratu.
Gratu showing up at the last second, but don't worry, Gratu.
Pulling Apollo.
We'll be stopping this stream and starting a new one when we go talk about the John Byrne Superman era.
Of which Gratu is not a fan.
Oh,
really?
Then I guess we won't see you. See you next week.
I've been liking it. Just spoilers. Yeah. I've been liking what I've been reading. So
Parallel Lives is the other good story you should check out too.
Okay, Parallel Lives. Okay.
But before for those people that were waiting for us to be talking Superman at 9, we better end this one and start the next one.
Yes,
that's true.
3 minutes.
But yeah, be sure to hit the comments, hit like, all the fun stuff, and we'll see y'all in a few.
Leave comments as far as what books you're getting this week. If you're not getting books, what books you were getting 10 years ago.
I got Young Romance.
Oh.
Well, you are old. You need the younger.
You would have seen that last night if you'd been watching the 4-Color Fossils.
I'm
sorry. It's on my to-do list.
I was watching The Flash, giving a play-by-play to Palpatine.
I know. Yeah, geez, you had about 47 live streams on Wednesday. Anywho.
Anyway, good night, kids.
See you guys over there.
All right.